Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of great most wonderful well. Shalom to all of the Arkim, the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. I'm the brother Caleb from the GMS England. London forecasters camp back with another lesson to edify the Lord's elect. I always like to start by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites. The real Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans, but you will find Israelites that do look like the other nations because we have been scattered among all nations to our various captivities. But if your sea line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible named Israel, then you too are an Israelite, no matter what you may look like, because Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18 tells you that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So I was just reading this article here on CNN Health, which was published on the 25th of January, so that was just about 2 days ago. It says drug study brings animal to human organ transplants a step closer, scientists say. Now this is going off obviously because you're not supposed to be making any cuttings in your flesh. That's what Leviticus chapter 19 verse 28. But the thing is, these Edomites, they're trying to obtain eternal life, which is something that is impossible because eternal life is only promised. Eternal life is only promised to the Israelites, and they are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's our blessing. That's our inheritance. That's our lot. Esau lost his birthright, but he's still trying to go up some other way to try and obtain it and get it back. So the guy is so desperate that he'll try to think that transplanting animal organs into his own body, he can somehow obtain eternal life. That's fucking ridiculous. But you know what the scriptures say, that the deceived and the deceiver are his. So really it's the Most High who's bugging these Edomites out to make them think that they can somehow come up some other way to obtain eternal life, when in reality they can't do it. So let's read this article. More than 100,000 people in the US are on the transplant waiting list, and an average of 17 die every day while waiting. Exactly. Bitches. Right, so scientists say they are closer to understanding the best way to make the human body receptive to an organ donation from another species, an effort that could help solve ongoing shortage of organs. More than 100,000 people in the United States are on the transplant waiting list, and an average of 17 die every day while waiting. Bear me a second. Salakia. It says an average of 17 die every day while waiting. Doctors have spent decades experimenting with alternatives, and many now see potential in replacing failing human organs with genetically modified pig organs. This is some out there shit, man. Genetically modified pig organs in your body, you know? Imagine that. Xenotransplantation. Hang on, let's read that again. Xenotransplantation. I did say that correctly. As cross-species organ transplantation is called, is still in its early stages. There is no human clinical trials taking place that have been approved by the US Food and Drug Administration. But the research behind a study published Thursday in the Journal of Clinical Investigation say that their findings might bring human trials even closer. For the study, doctors at the University of Alabama Birmingham's Mannix E. Harrison School of Medicine transplanted genetically modified pig kidneys into 3 people who were brain dead and showed that they could do so using the same FDA-approved drugs used in human to human conditions. Disgusting shit, man. With any kind of transplant, whether from a human or an animal, doctors have to give the recipient medications that suppress the immune system so that their body doesn't reject the unfamiliar organ. Yeah, because the human bodies will see that as a foreign entity, and the body won't accept it; it will reject it. So that shows you that this is ridiculous and off according to the scriptures and according to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. So it says, when patients are particularly vulnerable, in some cases, when patients are particularly vulnerable to infection, they might get additional therapy to offer protection from encapsulated bacteria like Neisseria meningitis, the germ that causes meningitis. Researchers behind the new study compared results from 2 pig kidney recipients who got the standard immune suppressing drugs, an additional FDA-approved therapy called eculizumab, with results from someone who only got the immune suppressing drugs. The combination appeared to work the best. The study showed that the doctors didn't need to use specialty or experimental drugs for the transplant process, which would make it easier to get the work into FDA-approved human trials, said study author Dr. Jamie Locke, a professor of surgery and director of the Division of Transplantation at the Helsinki School of Medicine. When we move this into the living, the scientist in me thinks the best way to do this is that we should change only one thing at a time. So in this case, the only thing that we have to change and have to be different is the organ source, she said. Keeping things as similar and as simple as possible, we would also make the process generalizable, Locke said. Doing this using medications that transplanters across the globe know how to use. When you start thinking about scaling this up and being able to offer this to as many people as possible, that's also very appealing, she added. It just decreases the complexity of what you're trying to do. The new research is limited because it was demonstrated that in only 3 patients. As with any science, the advance shows a stepwise progression, but doctors who work on researching evolving transports complemented the team. For what transplant surgeon Dr. Sherry Krams called extraordinary innovative work. Almost done, not much longer on this. What the paper adds to the body of knowledge is somewhat incremental, said Krams, Senior Associate Dean of Graduate Education and Postdoctoral Affairs, and a Professor of Surgery at Stanford Medicine, who did not work on the new research, particularly compared with a study published in August that showed how to test this kind of procedure in a model using brain-dead donors, what UAB calls the Parsons model. After the first person in the study whom Locke and her team transplanted with a modified pig organ in 2021, but Krams agreed that anything we do in transplant is great. Dr. Mandy Ford, scientific director of the Emory Transplant Center, agreed that the extreme need for organs makes any advance in this area important. There is a critical donor organ shortage in the United States and worldwide, and xenotransplantation really has the potential to be a revolutionary permanent solution to the problem, said Ford, who did not work on a new study but characterized it as a major advance. Using the FDA-approved regimen, I think it gets us closer to the clinical reality of being able to start clinical trials, and one step closer to making xenotransplantation a clinical reality for added. Right, so that was a pretty long article, but to get to the point, it's nothing new under the sun. Esau's trying to get his birthright back. Right, so first of all, I'm going to go to Genesis 27. Right. Genesis 27, starting from 19, it says, And Jacob said unto his... Now let me read from 17, Genesis 27, 17. Genesis 27, 15. And Rebekah took the goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and she put them on Jacob, her younger son. She put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savoury meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn, and have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because Yahweh thy God hath brought it unto me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my eldest son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hands, and so he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field, which Yahweh hath blessed. Therefore the Most High God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. And let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee, and be Lord over all thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. So this is one of the main things that Esau has a problem with. He wants to obtain this birthright which was bestowed upon Jacob. Hence why he's trying to come up some other way to try and obtain immortality. So let's read on. What was that? Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be everyone that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he had also made savoury meat, and brought it in unto his father. He said unto his father, Let my father arise, and eat of thy son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said, unto his father, Bless me, bless even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came in with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? For you have supplanted me these 2 times. You took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved the blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau his son, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren I have given him for servants, and with corn and with wine I have sustained him. What shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, O my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shall thou live. And by thy sword shalt thou live. And thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Here's the point. Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, and said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So I'm going to go from there to Revelation. Is it 22:14? Yeah. There we go. Revelation 22:14 says this. It says, Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates of the city. Let's read this a bit. Revelation 22:10. And he saith unto me, Seal the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, and he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Here's the point. Blessed are they that do his commandments. So who are the ones that keep the commandments? That be the Israelites. Because what is sin? Sin is the transgression of the law. And who are the only... Let me get that. This is 1 John 3 and verse 4. Right, this is what sin is. It says, Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. So who is the law given to? Yeah, this is Psalms 147 and 20. Right, let me get this one again quickly before I read it. Right, 1 John 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. If you go from there to Psalms 147 and verse 19, it says, He showeth his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. So these other nations aren't under the law, so therefore they can't be partakers of the new covenant. The new covenant will be when we are changed, our physical bodies are changed, and we receive new bodies, and we're going to be as gods on the earth. This is Psalms. Hang on, Psalms. Yeah, Psalms 82 verse 6 says, I have said ye are gods, and all of ye are the children of the Most High, but ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. So we really are gods with a little g, but we're in these fleshly bodies at the moment. So these physical bodies, they break down and they die, and there's a spiritual body which we have, which cannot be destroyed. So these Edomites trying to obtain eternal life, they're going about it the wrong way. Some other way, trying to come up some other way like a thief and a robber, but they ain't going to succeed. Revelation 22 and 14 again. It says, here's the point. It says, blessed are they that do his commandments, who are the commandments given to the Israelites. So only the Israelites can be partakers of this. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and that they may enter in through the gates into the city. Right? For without are dogs and sorcerers. Now what Esau is trying to do there, trying to use drugs to stop human bodies from rejecting organs from other animals, primarily pigs, but others too. He's trying to use his sorcery to obtain eternal life, but he's not going to get it. He says, for without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters. And again, where do you think Esau gets some of these organs from? He tries to harvest them from killing people, man. You go to hospital, you go in there thinking everything's, or you take a relative in there thinking everything's fine, only to find out that, there was complications and unfortunately he or she died. What happens to those organs? They get harvested. So it says, for without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. So Esau loves and makes lies, and him putting this article out there is part of him trying to show himself that he's the Most High, that he's the Most High, and that he somehow has access to eternal life. That's all bullshit. So yeah, man, just a quick one. Hope that's edifying and to the point. So with that, I'm gonna close out. Obviously, to those that are listening, don't be getting no unnecessary surgeries. Some people have certain sicknesses, and they have to, do certain things. But something is out there and as outlandish as getting an animal organ transplant, that's clearly going off. So I would not be advising that. So with that, giving all praises and all glory unto Yahweh, Bar Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bar Hashem, Chakadash, double honors unto the elders and apostles, great Muslim that rule well. And once again, Shalom to the 144,000 elect of the nation of Israel, and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. And I'm out for this one. I'll catch you on the next. All doing Shalom for now.